Hello, and welcome to another live stream slash Chrissy After Dark. Hold on, my computer's doing something weird already. Hopefully this does not disconnect, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think we're good. But today, as you can see by the title, I want to talk about the obsession that some people have with me and why I think that is. And I also want to address some lies that I have been hearing about my platform. Just some information that I have been wanting to correct for a while. Hey, everybody. Hey. And I know you guys want me to talk about other trending topics, and I will resume with those next week, but I want to go ahead and get this out of the way um, now, and then we'll continue with the other stuff. Hey, everybody. Hey. Thank you for coming. Oh, and by the way, I just dropped a review on the movie One Battle After Another for Neptunian members and patrons. So if any of you are interested in watching that, the links to join are in the description box. Yeah, we doing some good content behind the wall, and I'm going to continue with that next week. So, yeah. Check that out if you haven't already. So anyway, let's get into it. So I mentioned on my community tab that YouTube rectified the copyright situation that I was dealing with for the last couple of weeks. And now that it's a pending legal matter, I won't get into detail, but long story short, I'm basically dealing with another obsessed cyber stalker on YouTube. And yes, I'm using the word obsessed because that's what it is. Listen, when people are writing books about me, that is obsessed. Okay, and I don't care what anybody says. And yes, that is really happening. There is a YouTuber right now who is writing a book about me. The character in her book is named Christina. It's a fat, dark-skinned black woman. Yeah, and it's supposed to be me, I guess. So yeah, that's actually happening, y'all. And there is a first for everything, and this is a first. Like, I will have to say, I have not had anybody this obsessed with me in the entire 10 years I've been on YouTube. It's never been this bad. It's never been to the point that somebody's writing a book on me. So this is new. Yeah, and it seems like the longer I'm on here, the more obsessed and crazier people get. And I'm sorry, I have to talk about it. I know a lot of you hate when I do these kind of videos and I address my cyber stalkers, but y'all, I can't ignore it. Like, I can't. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to keep ignoring this. I'm just not. So, if you don't like the drama, if you don't like the mess, you can go ahead and click out the video. I won't be addressing the mess the entire video. Well, yeah, I'm going to be addressing mess the entire video. But this particular mess, I will not be addressing the entire video. But yeah, yeah, a book. Yeah, a book. Yeah. And so this is an obsession, you guys. And when people resort to personal attacks and attempted doxing or writing books about me in attempt to win a debate, that means they lost the argument, okay? And that means they have no legitimate comeback. They're sore losers, right? If you have to borderline stalk somebody to win an argument, then lie about trying to dox them to your audience, you've lost, right? So this person is a loser. From what I'm hearing, they're still doing content about me for, their members and patrons or whatever. They're planning to do more content about me. They're also telling their audience that they have information on me. And that's fine because I've done my research as well. I have a lot of information on them and their spouse. But this person is fixated on me, like a lot of YouTubers are. And it's weird. It's very, very weird. And what I'm dealing with on YouTube is crazy people who don't know they're crazy, right? And they have crazy audiences condoning their behavior, right? It's one thing to critique someone's content because they're a bigger content creator. People have been critiquing me for years, including this new stalker I'm dealing with. But now it's gone beyond that. It's gone beyond just critiquing, which is why I finally addressed them a couple weeks ago, right? Because I ignore people all the time. There's this, some people lie and they'll be like, oh, you respond to everything. Actually, I don't. I ignore quite a lot. But then when people start like trying to dox me and then, the situation where somebody's writing a book on me, that kind of stuff, like I'm not going to ignore that, right? And people always tell me to ignore, but ignoring some people only makes them worse, right? I ignored this person for years until they eventually tried to dox me. So ignoring them clearly did not work. Clearly they've been wanting my attention. So now they have my attention and the attention of my lawyer, and the way people get mad at me for defending myself against this stuff is wild to me. Whitney says, Chrissy, can you put some of your members only videos on YouTube for the broke folks? I still do public content. So, maybe you're gonna have to save up, a little $10, $12 to get the membership. Okay. Listen, that's cheap. Okay. That's what, less than what you pay for your hair, your nails, your eyelashes, your Netflix membership, so I'm just saying. But if you cannot afford it, I understand. But, you just gonna have to watch the public content, I have plenty of public content. Love you down, though. Love you down. Oh, but, yeah. So dealing with stalkers, right? And I just always find it funny when, people say, oh, well, you ignore them. And I got other YouTubers telling me to ignore these people. They have literally made entire channels to respond to me, yet they're telling me to ignore. It's like, you can't ignore me, but you're telling me to ignore other people. Like, it's very strange. But you can't tell me how to respond to people. And if I let you obsess over me for years or months and say nothing, and when I finally clap back, it's like, oh, I'm responding too much. No, I'm finally addressing your fixation on me. Okay. I will ignore one video, even 2, 3 videos about me. But once it reaches a level of borderline stalking, yes, I'm responding because that means it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. And the fact that so many people online actually think that crazy obsessive behavior is normal, it's a little bit scary. It is. It's creepy. And I will say that I was being petty for a minute. I went back and forth, but instead of engaging, I should have immediately reported them. I don't regret it because I did say some things that needed to be said. But, it's pointless to keep going back and forth with dishonest, mentally ill people who can't even keep it real about their intentions on trying to dox somebody. Okay? And I also don't respect people who can't debate without making it personal. So far, none of my detractors have debated me strictly on my talking points. Have you guys noticed that? Anybody who comes at me cannot just stick to the talking points. They either make up things that I say to argue against, or they use personal attacks to try to win the argument. And it's because if they argue my actual talking points without making it personal, they will lose. That's really what this is about. They're losing the argument. They have chosen me to pick fights with. I don't know why they want to defeat me of all people on YouTube. I find that some of these people on this app, they have an obsession with trying to dox me. And I noticed that, I have to address this every few years or so. Every other year, it seems like I have to address this. And I've learned over the years that people literally become obsessed when you are a YouTuber that they cannot see, right? And in my case, they feel entitled to my identity because I talk about beauty and I talk about femininity, I talk about leveling up and hypergamy. And while I understand that some people may feel like I have a moral obligation to show myself and prove every bit of my lifestyle because I talk about those things, the truth is that I don't. Okay? I don't have to prove anything to anybody on here. Now, if you find me to be a grifter, or if you find that if you think I'm not telling the truth about how I live, you can just stop listening to me. Like, it's not that hard to just stop listening, right? But the truth is that it does not matter if you think that I have to show and prove myself. You don't get to decide or control that. Okay? I can and still will be anonymous and talk about whatever I want, including femininity, including beauty, including hypergamy, and all that stuff. I'm still going to talk about that and be anonymous, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. Yeah. Now, I've shared bits and pieces of my lifestyle, and the evidence is still up. But listen, if that's not enough for you to believe, if that doesn't qualify me to speak about the things I talk about, that's fine. That, if that's not enough for you, that isn't my problem. But what I will never do is get caught up trying to prove myself to people on the internet, because what I found is that the goalposts will always move. Nothing will ever be good enough because you simply don't like my opinions, right? This isn't about me showing myself, because even if I did, you would still have a problem because it's my opinions that you don't like. This is why a lot of you will support other anonymous content creators but try to dox me. How does that work? Oh, you're being a fraud, you're fraudulent, you need to show yourself, but you're co-signing other content creators who are anonymous and who give advice on the internet, who teach people that you worship, men in the manosphere that you worship the ground they walk on. They're anonymous. They've never showed themselves, and they've been on here longer than I have, yet you're trying to dox me. That lets me know it's not about, the so-called lack of integrity you think I have. It's not about these lack of morals. It's not about me being a quote unquote grifter. It is the fact that you don't like my opinion. And so because you don't like my opinion, and because I want to stay anonymous, then the only way you can get to me, the only way you can get my attention is try to dox me. That's what this is really about. And it's because you're a crazy person. But I'm not the only anonymous Black woman talking about beauty and femininity and hypergamy. You're only targeting me because I'm a threat to you for some reason, right? You don't like that I encourage Black women to expand their options. You don't like that I criticize Black men. And that's fine. You don't have to like that. But you don't get to stalk me and try to dox me because you don't like that. That's not how this works. You don't get to try to dox anonymous people just because you don't like them. That's not how YouTube works. That's not how the law works. I'm sorry. Sorry. And I'm finding out that certain people think that because I don't allow them to dox me, that I'm scared of my audience finding out how I look and how I live, because then they'll find out that I'm not some skinny hypergamous supermodel with the $1 million man, when I've never claimed to be any of that. Listen, don't y'all think if I was really interested in painting some fantasy version of myself that I would have come up with something more elaborate? Like, I've already told the world that I'm a short, dark-skinned Black woman, thick, have had struggles with my weight, used to be 70 pounds heavier than I am now, used to be a pothead, a reformed hood rat. I told you that I'm an everyday dark-skinned woman that's not rich, went from working class to upper middle class. I've never claimed to be anything more than that. So you need to tell me what grift of mine you claim to be exposing. And see, I think what it is that I trigger some of these people, especially the women on YouTube, because I can be all of those things that I just mentioned and still be that girl, right? I can still be all of those things and live an above average lifestyle with an above average man and an above average community, right? My very existence goes against everything they preach on their channels. So I can understand why I trigger them. I can understand why they try to discredit me or make it seem like I came on here pretending to be something that I'm not. But you can't expose what I've already shared with everybody already. You can't expose me. Oh, Chrissy used to be fat. I told you that already. What am I supposed to be embarrassed by that? Oh, Chrissy struggles with her weight. I already told you that. Oh, Chrissy used to smoke weed. I already told you that. I told you some other shit I did too when I got in trouble with the law. I told you I was a reformed hood rat. That's not something I'm ashamed of. So, what exactly are you exposing again? Thank you for joining, Jasmine. Thank you for joining the Venusians. Yeah. Desiree says it sounds like they're just trying to humble you. Yeah, and it's like, you must really think I'm that girl because the pedestal you have me on is in the sky. Because you're making it seem like I came up here and I said that I was just, I don't know, one of these, I don't know, what do you think that I am? Like, what do you think? I don't, it's weird. So it's showing me that you're projecting whatever fantasies you have about me onto me, but that's not my problem. That's not my problem. Right. Smile Cow says they're regurgitating old news like it's brand new. Exactly. And look, if you put me on a pedestal and project an image of me that I've never claimed, that's not my problem. But just because I'm not allowing you to dox me or use my copyrighted work, that does not mean I'm afraid of being exposed for not being something or someone I never said I was. That simply means I'm protecting my identity because you don't get to expose that before I do. You don't get to do that. I'm protecting my identity because I choose to stay anonymous, and like it or not, you have to respect that. So you need to get over it and find someone else to obsess over. And also inform yourself on what's illegal and what's not instead of hiring dusty YouTube lawyers that don't know copyright law, because what you have been doing is illegal. It's against the law, which is why YouTube sided with me and they took down your videos containing my copyrighted material. And so at this point, you're just making yourself look stupid. Yeah, these people really are crazy. Like it's not an exaggeration when I say they're obsessed. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. And it's pretty bad. But I agree that, they're trying to humble me when I've already humbled myself. And something else, I feel like Black women, especially if you want to be a YouTuber or even if you're on social media just in general, there are people who will try to bait you into sharing your personal life and accusing you of being too private or being a fraud or, not being relatable enough. And then when you share your information, they'll weaponize whatever you share against you. Because I've actually been quite vulnerable on this platform. I've shared a lot about myself. And it's interesting because my haters, my ops, my detractors, they're weaponizing everything that I've shared about myself. Yet they want me to share more. They want me to show myself. And it's like, no, I'm not going to fall into that trap. And I believe it was Jackie Ina who kind of talked about this. She talked about how people will tell content creators that they aren't vulnerable enough or they aren't transparent enough. And then when they actually do open up, some of those same people will weaponize that vulnerability and they will use it to slander that person. So when I noticed that people were doing that, I stopped sharing a lot of my personal life. And I haven't shared much, but I've shared enough. And I notice it's just driving people crazy because they don't have anything new to weaponize against me. They have to keep using old information over and over again because they don't have anything new. Which at some point that's going to become ineffective because everybody's already heard it before. And people will also try to get you to overshare about your life because they've already overshared about theirs to the point of no return and to the point to where their reputation is damaged. So they want you to fuck up your reputation the way they did. But no, we're not going to do that. So ladies, I encourage you not to fall for the oversharing trap and move in silence on the internet. Okay. There is a reason why a lot of famous women don't share their personal lives and their dating lives. And if they do share something, it's not very much. And these are women who aren't even controversial like me. So if they're private, then it's even more necessary for women who are controversial like myself to be private, right? And that's because, like the people we're talking about, people are crazy. They're fucking nuts. And women are so jealous that they will try to sabotage everything you have going for yourself. And this is why a lot of leveled up women don't share their lives. This is why a lot of leveled, and I'm learning this, like it took me a minute to learn it, but I get it now. And some of it's because, you know, women like to gatekeep stuff, right? They don't like to share their secrets or whatever, but it's also because women are so jealous hearted that they will try to destroy you, okay? And they are not receptive to advice from other women who are doing better than them in some way. So they have a knee-jerk reaction to reject that advice, reject your opinion, reject anything you're saying, and discredit the women who are giving it. And I've seen this a lot from people on this app. I've seen it from other BWE, which is Black Women Empowerment content creators, for those who don't know what that is. I've seen this from divestors. I'm seeing this from the manosphere. And it's just like, I'm not going to keep. That's why, if you notice, I kind of pulled back on certain content because it's like, no, y'all are not about to try to drag me down and destroy me. I'm not going to let you do that. So yeah, we're going to go back to this trending topic stuff. And we just going to do regular basic content because y'all can't handle nothing else. And when I say y'all, I'm specifically talking about the people it applies to. Yeah, and you can't do it. Like, one thing I've noticed, especially like in this sector, people exaggerate the femininity and hypergamy content the most. There is way too much hysteria around Black women wanting to be hypergamous, the Black femininity conversation. It's just the amount of hysteria is crazy. Every time Black women encourage hypergamy or help Black women use their femininity to their advantage or help Black women level up, it just becomes this whole dishonest conversation about how every Black woman discussing hypergamy online is trying to get a millionaire and a billionaire, when that's not what most of us are saying. Or like what they say about me, oh, well, you think you're a supermodel and you have this, you said you have this $1 million man, when I've never said that. It's like it just gets so extreme and it's ridiculous. And then the masculine women who were never taught how to capitalize from their femininity or missed out on the chance to do it, they start hollering about how femininity and respectability won't save you and how you're automatically feminine if you have a vagina. And it just becomes this circular, dishonest conversation because all the extreme women are exaggerating the information because they're uncomfortable with other Black women leveling up more than they did in life and getting a better man than they did, or getting a better husband that they have, or getting a better man that they had a baby with or something like that. And so a lot of this is just, it's rooted in jealousy, and I notice that more than ever. And then now I guess I'm a grifter. That's another thing. Oh, they're all grifters. Everybody's grifting now. Everybody's getting paid for content on this motherfucker, but that person over there is grifting. Everybody's on here getting paid for content. Everybody's giving advice and getting paid for it on this app. Yet, if it's, I don't know, it's just weird to me. All of it's just weird. And to be honest, I see why the leveled up or hypergamous black women and, leveled up women in general, I see why they don't share tips and share the steps they took to get where they're at. I see why they gatekeep the information. Or they say shit like, oh, there's no formula, just be yourself. Because that is the only answer that most of women will accept. And it's because other women attack them for sharing their knowledge. They try to sabotage other women. They try to stop them from taking the advice because they don't want those women to surpass them. Women are their own worst enemy. So I can see why leveled up women either don't give level up advice or they stop giving it. I completely understand that now. And my mentor has been trying to warn me about this for years. And it took me a while to fully grasp what she was saying. But now it's finally clicked for me. Which is why I put a lot of my strategic level up content on my website and then made it available for a limited time. Because it's not that I don't believe the advice still works or that I don't believe the advice works, because I do. It absolutely works. And I do believe there's a formula. But it's because of how people, and especially women, react to the advice being given and try to destroy the women who give it. And after a while, it's just not worth the sacrifice. So I understand why most people who are successful in life either gatekeep or don't share their strategies, or only share them with a selective group of people, because it's just more peaceful that way. Because anytime you try to help, shit like this happens. You get stalked, you get cyber stalked, you get harassed. People literally try to destroy you. People writing books about you and just all this crazy shit. It's ridiculous. And I've never, like I said, in my whole 10 years of being online, I don't think I've ever had anybody write a book about me. So this is new. This is new. And I'm like, dang, I guess I'm really that girl, huh? B. Moore says, that's right, Chrissy. Stay anonymous. Stay lawyered up. There are evil people in these spaces. Mm-hmm. Oh, Love Lexiana, are you the one that said you had the person's name that made that AI stuff about me? If you can email me that would be great at askchrissie@gmail.com. If that's you who said that, I would appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Lexiana. I appreciate that. And it's so interesting because y'all anti AI people, you told me that AI was bullshit. You told me that it's harmful and all this stuff. And I agree. I agree that a lot of it is harmful, but it's so interesting how I have been pro AI and then have been at the brunt of people abusing it, like, and trying to attack me with it. I just think that's so interesting. Like, it's just, dang, is that my karma or something? That's just crazy. I mean, I still love AI. It still really helps me, to be honest, like with my work and everything. Like, it makes my life a lot easier, but it's just really interesting how I'm like, I have people who are trying to destroy me with AI. Like, it's kind of crazy how that works. Oh, girl, yeah, I love ChatGPT. So, there's that. But like I said, um, I am getting some things legally taken care of. And some of the stuff, like, it's gonna take a minute because the government is shut down. And, like what I'm dealing with as far as like copyright is concerned, I have to wait till the government opens back up. So, but either way, YouTube thankfully has handled everything they need to on their end. And I just have to wait on the other legal stuff. Um, Such a lady says that woman said you couldn't be hypergamous in Indianapolis. Who said that? Such a lady who said that? Shane Miller says that AI voice sounded nothing like you. I listened to it and thought Chrissy would never say that. Yeah, it's good to know who these people are though. Like that woman has piped down. I will say she has left me alone. Um, but it's good to know who these people are. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of research on people who have been stalking me, so it's just good to know who they are. Oh, okay. I didn't hear her say that, such a lady. But it's like, tell me you have no experience with luxury and hypergamy without telling me you have no experience with luxury and hypergamy. Hypergamy isn't just eating at Michelin star rated restaurants. Like that doesn't even make sense. Why do I have to explain this? And see, this is why I don't give level up advice like I used to. This is why. Like that's your comeback. Oh, you can't be hypergamous in Indianapolis because there are no Michelin star rated restaurants. Luxury and hypergamy means different things. It could be having access to fine dining, fine wines, exclusive social circles, traveling, culture, and where I live offers many of those things. And even if it didn't, I traveled and I've experienced those things in other places too. Furthermore, luxury and hypergamy does not depend solely on having Michelin star rated restaurants. There are so many markers of luxury and high status that include so many different things: high end shopping, education, career opportunities, exclusive events, social clubs. The fact that, they're trying to, like, I don't know, what is that supposed to do? We try again, are you trying to humble me or something? But it's like, and don't get me wrong, like, the fact that Michelin star exists, that is a useful badge to be like, oh, this is a Michelin star rated restaurant. Oh, it has 3 Michelin stars or whatever. But the absence of that doesn't mean that the dining scene or somebody's lifestyle is impoverished or insufficient for luxury living. And see, that's how people think when they've had little to no experience with luxury and hypergamy. This is how I know y'all don't know what y'all are talking about. No shade. Like, it's like, wait till these bitches find out that there are hypergamous black women who aren't supermodels and who are bigger than a size 4. Wait till you find that out. Then you're really going to be like, oh my God, I didn't know that, because you don't have experience. That's why. And let me tell you, any woman who has to pander to incel men online for money and crowdfund to buy a laptop because her husband can't pay for it, you can't tell me anything about hypergamy and luxury living. I don't care where you live. Okay? Because you don't know enough about it, apparently. Because you don't have it. You ain't got it like that. And again, I investigate all my stalkers and I have their information. And all I'm going to say is that I can see why they act the way they do. They're not mature, well established people. They don't have a lot to lose. And I'm judging that by the information I found and also how they behave online. I don't know any successful, high value, high earning person or high earning man, high earning husband and businessman with connections that matter. I don't know any man like that who would actually be okay with his spouse online stalking people and trying to dox people and writing books about anonymous people on the internet, little childish books and shit, and chastising black women all day in their videos with her real name and face showing. Like, I don't know any high value man, actually high value man, who would be okay with their spouse doing that. And so these are clearly not people who have much to lose. And I could really go in if I wanted to, but, you know, I'll save the information I have and keep it in my back pocket just in case I have to use it in the future. But just like, you know, you're telling your audience, oh, you have all this information. I have all this information on her, sweetie. I got some on you too. So, you know, let's not go there. Let's let the courts handle this. Let's handle this legally and not let it get too messy online. Because I don't think you want that. And I'm not scared of you. Like, this person thinks I'm scared of them. And I'm like, girl, you don't put fear in my heart. Just because I don't want you sharing my information and doxing me doesn't mean you scare me. You don't. Yeah, Whitney says, I see why you stay anonymous. People crazy. Girl, it's real bad. And you know these people are unserious because I saw a big swole, morbidly obese manosphere nigga laughing at a bitch calling me fat when he is literally built like the shit emoji. And I'm not exaggerating. This nigga be sitting up on his podcast looking like the shit emoji. And he's I guess this person they hold in high esteem in the manosphere. He's a doctor or whatever. But he's under this weird troll bitch's channel calling me fat. And that motherfucker looks like he's melting. It's just crazy. The fucking YouTube is the fucking Twilight Zone. It really is. Calling a black woman fat while being morbidly obese is crazy work. It's crazy work. This is why I say that black YouTube is like the fucking Twilight Zone. You got fat people calling other people fat. You got ugly people calling other people ugly. You got grifters calling other people grifters. It's a mess. Yeah, he in there cackling because she wrote a book about me. And the character is like this fat, dark-skinned woman. Meanwhile, this motherfucker is probably like 500 pounds. He's probably like 400, 500 pounds. And he's sitting there laughing, talking about some LOL. I'm like, sir. I cannot believe this is crazy. This cannot be live. This cannot be live. Yeah, if one thing black men gonna have is audacity, honey. They gonna be fat and hideous as fuck up online talking about fat, hideous black women. They gonna have the audacity, honey. If it's the one thing black men have is nerve and audacity, honey. That shit is crazy. And that's like the new thing. Like, that's what I'm noticing. Like, the colorists who don't agree with me, they automatically go to, oh, you're fat and ugly and you're a femcel. That's like their go-to response now. And because they know that some of those insults get to most unambiguous dark-skinned women, because most unambiguous dark-skinned women are very insecure, they think that's going to work on me. They think that's going to silence me. But it never will, baby. It's been 10 years. Y'all been calling me fat and ugly for 10 years and I'm still here. What do you think is going to happen? I don't know what y'all don't get about me. I am not like these other insecure dark skinned women online. I don't care about a bunch of strangers who have never seen me. You're not around me. You don't know my personal life. You don't know how much I weigh now. Okay, you don't know anything about me. I don't care about you calling me a fat, ugly femcel online. You gotta have the lowest self esteem ever as a dark skinned woman to let those kind of insults get to you, especially considering that they're coming from these people. A bunch of fat manosphere niggas who don't have no money, they're broke, don't own or control nothing, or they're coming from these cosplay mixed women, skin bleachers, broke dusty bitches, fake divestors, and the list goes on and on and on. Those are the kind of people calling me fat, ugly femcells. Why would you think I give a fuck? Like seriously speaking, those of you who have seen the way I live, why do you think I would give a fuck about that? What I give a fuck about is you trying to dox me and sharing my copyrighted information. But all that other shit I don't give a fuck about. And you know that, which is why you keep fucking with me. GMC says my 600-pound life. Girl. And was sitting there laughing at me like, baby, I lost 70 pounds, sir. Dr. Manosphere nigga that was laughing. You probably need to hit me up so I can tell you how to lose some weight. Real talk, while you under there laughing, you might want to hit me up. I can help you out, okay? I mean, because this is crazy. I can't take it. Yeah, there was some other girl too, and I didn't get to see the video, but apparently some video hoe was talking shit about me too. She thought I was like shading her in one of my videos or something. And I don't listen to that girl's content, and she went on this whole rant about me. And I'm like, what is going on here? I don't know you, girl. I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know who your several baby daddies are. I just now found out that you was selling ass online. And so it's like, these are the kind of people who are calling me fat and ugly online. People with different baby daddies, different kids by different men, selling ass on the internet, so-called pretty privileged women that are obsessed with me, but they're pretty privileged, ain't got them nothing but a few dollars and a wet ass. The fuck do I look like allowing bitches like that to make me feel bad? Even if I was a fat, ugly femcel bitch, I'm still not you though. I'm still not you. I'm still not selling my ass online on OnlyFans for pennies. I'm still not doing that though. And so the insults, they haven't been able to shut me up for a decade now. So I don't know why y'all think it's gonna work now. And if you keep fucking with me, I'm just gonna keep triggering you with my videos. I'm gonna keep making more money than you. You and your so-called pretty privilege while triggering you. You'll never be on my level. So it's like, why are you just gonna keep crying? I mean, what is none of this is helping your situation. If you're still on the internet selling ass for $2 a month, none of this is gonna help your situation. But no, you'll never be on my level, you dirty booty bitch. So go wipe your ass and go cry on your channel about that. And next time, leave the video up so I can hear what the fuck you have to say. Don't take the video down. Let me hear it. Thank you, Fresh Face, for the donation. And you know, I hate to get like this, but it's like y'all bitches got me fucked up. Like, who do you think I am? And girl, listen, let me tell you something. I ain't shaming sex workers. All I'm saying is this. Because there's a market for everybody, even my so-called fat, ugly femcel ass. But let me tell you something. If I was doing that kind of work, I'd be charging way more than you, bitch. And I'll be making a lot more money. So you need to get your money up before you start talking shit about me. Raise your prices, ho. That's all I'm saying. Everybody getting it. Everybody getting it tonight, okay? Because listen, I've been hearing some stuff, and it's taken me a while to like address all this stuff. But now that we hear, we're gonna address all of it and move on, and then come back next time if we need to address some other shit. So now that we got these prostitutes, these internet bitches, internet hoes, cheap internet hoes out the way, and we got the stuff about the chick who's writing a book about me, that's being handled legally. I want to address some other shit, okay? Some other things I have been seeing from some of these like new wave BWE channels and like new wave colorism channels that have a lot to say about me. Um and look, I don't have anything against these women, okay? I think that there's room for everybody on YouTube. We all, there's enough room for everybody. We can all do our thing. I don't care if you take my old talking points and, you try to improve upon them, and you try to have your own platform for dark skinned women, and for whoever it is that you represent. Like, I have no issue with that, right? Um, but then when you start lying on my platform, that's when I have an issue, okay? And I don't know what it is about some of these girls. They come out, right? And here's what people tend to do. And now that I'm a seasoned content creator, like I get more like what they try to do. They come out and they use talking points from past BWE channels, right? And they try to, like, I guess, not make the same mistakes that we made, which is fine. Like, I think that's great. I think that anybody who's new and upcoming, and they want to put out the message for Black women, want to try to help Black women or empower Black women, I think that's very, a very good thing to do. And if you want to correct what you saw was a mistake that we made in the past as former BWE creators, like, I think that's admirable. I think that you should do that. Like, that's great, because we're not perfect. We made mistakes, right? I totally get it. But then when you lie, that's what I have a problem with. Like, just don't lie on my platform, right? And then when you try to position yourself as being the superior content creator when you really don't have enough experience doing this work, you kind of make yourself look stupid, because you end up falling into traps that could have been avoided, and then you have to circle back around, and then you end up kind of sounding like us in the end. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, right? And so I'm seeing people say, oh, well, Chrissie, this is one thing that people are saying, right? Chrissie doesn't put out solution-based content, right? And I don't know why y'all are making shit up. Like, that's just a complete and total lie. There's solutions in every video, right? I think most people know that. But the reason why I'm addressing it is because, like, I hear this from the new BWE girls often. And I'm like, girl, that doesn't even make sense. And for those who don't know or who forgot, I started Divine Dark Skin, which DDS, on Facebook in 2012. Okay. I began making YouTube videos about colorism in 2015 on this channel. I created DDS Online Magazine in 2017 and online, and the print version in 2019. I started my corrective promotion and femininity for dark-skinned women series in 2018, right? I've always given solutions in every video, even outside of the ones I just mentioned. Any video I've done for dark-skinned women and girls and black women in general, I've always given solutions, right? And I say that to say that I've always had quote unquote positive content. I've always had solution-oriented content for dark-skinned women. Now, if you didn't pay attention to that, or you perceived it to be negative, or you prefer seeing level up content from light-skinned women or so-called light-skinned women and non-black women, and you ignored mine, that isn't my problem. Okay? But what you can't do is rewrite history and pretend that my work does not exist because you didn't find value in it at the time. And some of this is the fact that I was just a little bit ahead of my time. You know, when I was doing the whole femininity stuff and, you know, hypergamy content, I was ahead of my time. And a lot of people are just now catching up, right? But that's not my fault. Like, just because you're just now catching up doesn't mean I'm gonna go back and then start just doing that content all over again. That's not how that works. Especially after I got fucking attacked for it. That's not, you know, that's not gonna happen. And I feel like that's kind of what they want me to do. Because, I mean, I kind of wanted to talk about this probably in another video, but even now, I'm seeing gay men, gay black men, give femininity advice to black women after y'all attacked black women for giving femininity advice for black women. That shit blows my fucking mind. That blows my mind. But now that it's no longer like taboo to give black women femininity tips, now gay black men are giving it. Like, I just think that that's crazy. Like, that's crazy to me. And so I guess, I don't know, black women, I guess, are more receptive to the information now. But it's like, no, I'm not going to go back and do that content all over again after I literally got dragged through the mud for it. That's not how this works. And I've already spoken on all of the reasons I took down some of that content and stopped posting some of it. So I won't go into detail. If you know, you know. But what I will say is that part of the reason anything made for black women eventually disappears is because it's not deemed good enough or sabotaged by black women in the black community. And I love and appreciate all my supporters, but at some point, we have to be honest about the collective behavior of black people and really humans in general, right? If most of you wanted positivity or exclusive spaces, more of you would support that, right? Most of you are here for entertainment. You're here for the tea. You're here for celebrity gossip. That is why all the tea channels and the celebrity gossip pages, that's why they're so huge. That's the kind of content that thrives on YouTube. And I share audiences with those creators. So I know that when most of y'all say, oh, we want positivity, we want finance tips, we want social strategy, we want, no. And I know it's true for some of you, right? But for most people, that's not the content that you flock to. Now, personally, I like strategy content and I like celebrity tea content because I'm nosy as fuck, right? So I combine them on my channel. I use trending topics as teaching lessons, and it works because it's interesting enough for people to click and informational enough to be strategic and evergreen, right? It's something people can learn from. Something people can learn from and come back to if they need a reminder, right? And that's why I get a lot of requests to bring my archived videos back because they're evergreen despite being, trending topics. And so for someone who's been here for 10 years, I know what y'all actually want to see. And it's not strictly positive or level up content. That's not what y'all want to see. And that's fine because, again, I like covering trending topics and controversial topics and, doing more trending stuff. And also me doing the more trending topics, it minimized the intellectual property theft of my content from other content creators. So that's another reason I prefer doing the trending content. But my point in saying all this is that most of y'all be lying about what you want to see. And that's evident by the content that you engage with the most. And so, and even now, like now that I've kind of gone back to doing more trending topic and more colorism topics or whatever, I'm getting more engagement. I'm making more money, all the things. So it's like, I know what you guys want to see for the most part. And so, we have to meet in the middle. I have to do what people want to see and also what I want to make. Listen, Goddess says you should bring back your archived videos back, like someone else said, set the tone, and you should claim your credit, Chrissy. Listen, most people already give me credit. Y'all know who's who. Let's be real. I'm not trying to be arrogant when I say that, but y'all know who's who. And the people who are on here lying, trying to rewrite history, like, it's not, the reason why it's not landing and most people are not running with that is because it's not true. Most people know who was first. Most people know who said what. Because even though those videos are gone, like, the evidence is still everywhere. And it was a season, it was a season for that content. So no, it's not going back up. No. And I appreciate, like, when I say this stuff, it doesn't apply to all of you who have really been supporting me since the beginning. But all I'm going to say is that since those videos have been down, it's like they're more valuable because they're not accessible anymore. When they were up and just free and, y'all could just go to it whenever y'all wanted to, it's almost like people took them for granted. And now that they're gone, people are begging me to bring them back, but that's not how it works. Like, you have to appreciate things while they're here. You get what I'm saying? And unfortunately, a lot of Black women did not appreciate that kind of content. And when I hear, like, some of the femininity advice that y'all are getting from these gay Black men, it's so fucking basic. It's not even like in depth like my shit was. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's crazy. It's like, this what y'all doing now, girl. I guess. And then some of the men, they're charging like $10,000 for fucking matchmaking services. I'm like, girl, this shit is crazy. Crazy. And it's like, I could come back and probably make a killing doing that. I just don't want to do it anymore. Like, I'm over I'm over that season. You get what I'm saying? I'm over it. And it's like, it's like, as soon as, like, it's just crazy. And then I heard one girl say, she was like, oh, Chrissy, she never encouraged dark skinned women to capitalize off their beauty. And I always laugh when people say that because, again, a plethora of femininity videos that were not centered around men to help Black women maximize their beauty and use their beauty and intelligence to social climb. It's just that back then it wasn't labeled looks maxing and pretty privilege or whatever else y'all calling it now. It was all under the umbrella of black femininity. And I mean, did y'all forget that I got dragged for that? Y'all dragged me all over the internet for that. Y'all dragged me all over the internet for telling dark skinned women to capitalize from their beauty and their femininity. And now that we're in 2025, and now I guess that some of the light skinned women have come on and start talking about it, and some of the gay men have come on and start talking about it. Now you want it for black women? Well, you had it already. You had that and you shit on it. That's just crazy to me how it works like that. It's crazy. Yeah, and for those of you who are new, my second or third femininity video that I did back in 2018, 2019, it was called Always Look Pretty. And that was the quote unquote looks maxing today, right? Before it was called that. And a lot of the new content creators who are talking about looks maxing and pretty privilege, they got a lot of their content ideas from the black femininity movement that black women shit on. And I helped create that movement. So that kind of content is old to me. It's new to some of y'all, but it's old to me, which is why I'm no longer interested in making the content like I used to. I've been there and done it and got dragged for it. So you can't blame me for not wanting to go back to that. You know what I mean? But if you were around back then and then you saw that content, and then today and these are people who are familiar with me, right? But if you were around back then and you saw that content and you're still pretending like I never gave dark skinned women beauty tips or what's now called looks maxing, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop fucking lying on my name. I was doing that content. You told me it was Eurocentric. You said that black women don't need advice on beauty and femininity. That's what you told me back then. That's what you said. I still have the videos up responding to it. Even though the femininity videos are down, I have the videos up responding to people, to the backlash people gave me for my femininity content. And then I had people, that's another reason why I had to take the videos down, y'all, because people were listening to that content and then literally calling me a predator. This one bitch who's not even online anymore, it's just crazy, not even online, accused me of preying on dark-skinned women because I was giving them femininity. Girl, y'all have no idea what I've been through. That shit is crazy. For giving femininity advice, she told me I was preying on dark-skinned women. And so, no, you don't get that content back. No, you don't. You don't deserve it. Most of you don't. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what y'all said. You said it was Eurocentric. Then the mixed girls came out. They started doing their content on pretty privilege and femininity and all this stuff. And now you want me to come back and start making content like that again because the light-skinned girls are doing it now. No, that's not how it works. You were supposed to appreciate it when it was here. And I hate to say it, but this is how black women, and especially dark-skinned women, sabotage your own spaces. And you allow other groups to take over. You don't appreciate your exclusive spaces and content for you when it's available. But as soon as mixed women or white women start copying those spaces that you took for granted, and they start centering themselves in their spaces and not unambiguous dark-skinned women, suddenly now you see the value in having that type of content. Suddenly you see the value in spaces for you that you didn't appreciate and that many of you tried to destroy, if we're keeping it all the way real. Most black women, unfortunately, you don't have foresight, and that's why you lose. Other groups of women have always made spaces for their own femininity, where they center their own image, and black women support them. But when y'all got that for your own image, you made a million think pieces saying it was hateful and it was divisive and it was Eurocentric and it was elitist and unnecessary. And so I removed the content and I made it available for the black women who wanted it. And now y'all are complaining that it's gone? Okay, but is that my fault or is it yours? And when I say it's your fault, I'm talking to the black women it applies to, not the black women who actually supported it. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. I'll be Kiara. I'll be talking about trending topics again next week. That's not what this live stream is about. We're going back to the trending topics next week. Yeah, listen, and if the new girls want to come through and do the content over again, I'm all for that. Like, I ain't tripping, but to make it seem like I'm supposed to just go back to that after the way I was treated for giving that information, like, I don't think y'all should expect me to do that. Like, I don't have to do that. And then, I see the bitches on Bum Bitch Alley talking about, oh, she downgraded her platform to celebrity gossip. It's always been that. Like, I've always talked about celebrities. That's nothing new. But it's like, now I guess y'all want me to bring back all the strategy content and all the femininity content. And it's like, but you were dragging me for that. So why would I bring that back? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, and that's what it is. Jessme says they always want dark-skinned black women to mule. That's really what it is. You want me to keep fighting for you and sacrificing for you, basically for free. And oh, yeah, I know you were getting dragged. I know they were dragging you. I know they were doing all this stuff to you, but still post the content, put it back up, even though they were calling you a predator. No, absolutely fucking not. And my thing is, like, if you, especially with the new content creators, the bitches who are on the mic, the new girls who are on the mic, if you really found value in that content, why would you lie? Why would you come on and lie about it not existing? That is what's like a slap in the face. That's crazy. And I saw one girl and she was like, oh, she did a video telling black women to stop watching my channel because it made her bitter and depressed. And I don't understand the black women content creators who tell other black women to not watch my videos or obsess over YouTube videos about race and color. But then most of their YouTube channel is about YouTubers who talk about race and color. Like, I don't get that. And, I don't understand how grown women don't know that a YouTuber having a channel that releases videos about a particular subject, it doesn't mean that YouTuber is doing that every second of the day. I don't talk about colorism every second of the day. And I kind of feel like I'm the only channel that gets that specific critique. Y'all don't look at makeup and hair gurus and think that, oh, because they're making content on one particular thing, that they're always doing that every second of the day. It's already understood. But I shouldn't have to say in every single video that I'm not consumed with colorism. I shouldn't have to say over and over that I don't talk about colorism in the black community every day. Or I don't create videos about colorism every day or listen to YouTube videos about black issues every day. You should assume that when I'm not on here and I go without uploading for several days and sometimes weeks at a time, you should assume that I'm doing a plethora of other things in the real world and I'm out living my life. And I've said over and over again to black women, go outside. Don't be at home watching videos on black YouTube all day. Don't let the content on black YouTube consume you, because I damn sure don't let it consume me. And by the looks of things, a lot of y'all are making it or letting it consume you because, motherfuckers is writing books about me and everything. So it's not me who's consumed with it. It's some of you. And I'm sorry, that's not my problem. Like, I don't have anything to do with that. And I think that the black women who are obsessed with telling other people not to consume themselves with this kind of content, you need to stop projecting, because many of us already do that. We don't need to be told not to make this our entire lives. And if this kind of content is too heavy for you and the truth is too much for you to bear, and it's making you sad or making you bitter, or and you'd rather bury your head under the sand instead of, hearing about the reality of the world, then you need to take your own advice and stop worrying about the people who can listen to this content and live a happy life. Right? Just because my content makes you unhappy and bitter and unable to live a regular life doesn't mean it's the same for me. It doesn't mean it's the same for the people who watch me. And just because you perceive me as always being angry or bitter, it doesn't make it true. Unlike you, I can talk about colorism and the reality of the world and be perfectly happy and live a normal life outside of YouTube. If you are unable to do that, I completely understand. But you should just stop watching my channel. Don't project your bullshit onto me and my followers, because we don't have that problem. And something that I've been noticing about a lot of these black women, this new wave of BWE, a lot of y'all are extremely insecure. You're extremely insecure. You want dark-skinned women to be quiet now because the colorism conversation isn't as popular, right? And then now you're watching these newish anti-dark-skinned woman channels, and you're internalizing what they say about me and other channels, other dark-skinned women who talk about colorism. And because they're so insecure, those channels have made them feel shameful about discussing colorism. And I noticed a theme too with some of the new creators. They think that me and other BWE made the colorist content creators, we somehow, I guess, their whole thing is that we were so bitter and mean to light-skinned women. And so we're the reason that those women are colorist, right? And look, I'll take the blame for influencing them to create their channels, right? But colorists already had their beliefs about dark-skinned women before hearing my content, right? Which is why I'm glad they have their own channel, so you can hear the colorism from the horse's mouth, right? But me calling out colorist, competitive, light-skinned women, or calling a light-skinned woman a ghetto Beyonce Barbie, that didn't make them believe that they look better than unambiguous dark-skinned women. They already felt that way, sis. I just made them mad enough to say it out loud. But I'm sorry to break it to you new girls, the new wave of BWE colorism content creators. Look, they already had that belief about you, Buki. They already did. My platform for dark-skinned women just made them mad enough to say it out loud. Because for once in their lives, they weren't the center of attention. And some of these girls ain't even light-skinned, okay? They're not even light-skinned. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, what you won't do is blame me for their colorism. And it's interesting because, and I probably talk about this in another video too, but there's a whole conversation on X talking about how the 2010s, the early 2000s were really bad for dark-skinned women online. It was a lot of colorism happening in the early 2000s, the 2010s, And if you notice, I came online in 2015. I came online in response to that. Right? So my channel was a response to the rabid colorism that was happening online. And so I like that the girls on X are like, no, y'all not about to rewrite history and make it like that didn't happen. We gonna talk about that shit. And I kind of feel like y'all are trying to do that with me too. Like, oh, Chrissy just came online and just started bullying these innocent light-skinned women and bullying these innocent black men that didn't do anything. No, that's not what happened. And I'm not just gonna let y'all sit up here and keep lying. Yeah, I'm talking about the new channels. I'm talking about the ones who are actually light-skinned, because most of these channels, these anti-dark-skinned women channels, they're brown-skinned women who are mad at my old videos, and they're speaking on the behalf of light-skinned women and mixed race women that they live vicariously through. So they're defending them to, get closer proximity to them or benefit from their trickle down light skin privilege, which doesn't even work because people eventually learn that they're fake. Like, and that's a whole nother conversation. But their channels are basically them throwing a tantrum because a group of dark-skinned women decided to center our own beauty instead of the beauty of light-skinned women and mixed women. And because some of the new wave BWE are so insecure and they fear being called jealous and insecure by those women, they think that if we're nicer to them, they wouldn't have those beliefs that they have about dark-skinned women. But what they don't understand is that the problem is that they don't want the truth. They don't want to hear the truth about colorism. And if you say anything critical about colorist people, whether it be light-skinned women or black men, they're going to call you insecure and ugly, no matter how nice you are to them. It's not the old wave of BWE that's making them do it. It's not me that's making them do it. They just don't like dark-skinned women saying anything about colorism. They don't. And the only way to appease them or make them not label you the quote-unquote ugly dark-skinned woman is just to be quiet, accept colorism, coddle them, put them on a pedestal. Anything outside of that is going to get you labeled insecure, jealous, and ugly, and bitter. And a femcel with a victim mentality. It doesn't matter how nice you are. If you're honest about colorism, they're going to have a problem with you. So what I want the new BWE girls to understand is that you're not saying anything different from what we said. You're not going to reinvent the wheel in any way that makes you look like the secure, dark-skinned girl to a bunch of colorist people. Not saying you can't do it better than I did, because maybe you can, but the way you're trying to do it, like, walk on eggshells and, be the nice dark-skinned girl, that's not going to work. The only thing that's going to make them happy is you kowtowing to them and denying colorism. That's the only way and being their token. That's the only way that's going to make them be okay with you. So your best bet is to stop internalizing their gaslighting. Stop believing what they say about you being an ugly, insecure femcel, because it's not true. Let them say what they want to say about you, because at the end of the day, again, like I said earlier, a bunch of anonymous women on YouTube claiming to have pretty privilege when, you don't know that to be true, that shouldn't affect you anyway. Right? They're not changing your real world experience. They're not changing how you're perceived in the real world. That's why it doesn't bother me when they call me a fat, ugly femcel. I know the attention I get in real life. And why would I come on here and prove that to a bunch of strangers when we've seen how some of them look? They don't even have the pretty privilege that they claim they have. So, they're not changing your real world experience and how you're perceived. So why does what they say matter? And see, what they want us to do is come on here and try to prove ourselves to them. They want us to get on here and be like, oh, that's not true. I am a pretty dark-skinned girl. I do have pretty privilege. I'm not a femcel. That's what they want you to do. And I'm sorry, but the only way you would be trying to do that and trying to prove yourself to a bunch of immature, insecure skin bleachers, women who don't like themselves, don't even have the level of pretty privilege of the celebrities that they hide behind in their thumbnails. The only way you would be trying to prove yourself to them is if you're also insecure, like they are. And also if you have no life outside of the internet. Right? But when you're a secure dark-skinned woman, you already know you're not ugly because your beauty gets affirmed in real life. You don't have to prove that to a bunch of strangers on the internet. You don't have to. You don't have to prove that you're not a femcel because you get male attention from high-quality men in the real world. So let them say what they want. Nothing they say is based in truth. They're just saying it to silence us and get us to jump through hoops for them and try to prove ourselves. And, the only way you'll be doing that is if you care about their opinion of you. And Chrissie don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. And you shouldn't either because they're nobodies in the grand scheme of things. They're nobodies. And I feel like every so often I have to come on here and remind y'all that, like, girl, I'll be damned if I'm gonna be jumping through hoops for these people that I've these strangers online. Like, what? Who are you? And I heard one of the content creators say, she said something like, "Oh well, Chrissie left unambiguous dark skinned women to deal with the mess um she made after bashing light skinned women, and we have to coexist with these women." But just the fact that dark skinned women content creators, the new wave of BWE, just the fact that you're trying to coexist with colorist, mentally ill, deranged women who want to be light skinned, I mean, it says it all. You need you're insecure, sis. That's all I can say. And that's your problem. That has nothing to do with Chrissy because it's you giving them views. Despite them calling you ugly and inferior in every video, you're giving them an audience. So that's your fault. That's not mine. You're forcing yourself to coexist with them. Most of you, you are not children. You're grown ass women. And this is YouTube. You don't have to coexist with anybody. You choose to. You choose to try to coexist with them even after what I told you about them. And after, it's like, so that's your fault. But let's not act like you're being forced to be in community with these women. And it's like the audacity of y'all to ask me to put my colorism videos back up for y'all, to still support these colorist channels and put money in their pockets. Like, that's why I can't take y'all seriously. You don't want to pick a side. And yes, when you're dark skinned, you should be picking a side between colorist people and the dark skinned women who advocate for you. But it's like, why would I even put my videos back up for you? Make this make sense. You're saying I'm cowardly for not keeping my colorism videos up. And you want me to put my old colorism videos up for dark skinned women when dark skinned women on this app, the ones who are on the mic, you support the colorist ops. And you're trying to be neutral and coexist with the colorist ops. Explain to me how it benefits me to put my colorism videos back up if you're doing that as a new wave colorism content creator that came up under Chrissy. You want me to put those videos up to prove to you that I'm not a coward when y'all are too cowardly to call out colorist mixed women, and you walking on eggshells because you scared of being called a ugly fat femcel? So basically, you want me to have the courage that you don't even have. That shit is fucking hilarious to me. No. No, I'm not putting them back up. I'm not putting them back up until you get some fucking self-esteem. Because we don't have the same issues. I don't have the problems that you have, sis. I don't. I'm not scared of these colorists. They don't bother me. What bothers me is y'all trying to turn on me for them when you know they don't have your best interest at heart. And I'm specifically talking about the new wave BWE who are on the mic talking shit about me. And listen, if you claim that you're better than me and you can do so much better than I did with my platform, with your platform, okay, great. I'm waiting to see how much better of a job you do, how much bigger of an impact you have on the lives of dark-skinned women and girls. I'm waiting for you to do a better job than I did. If you can do better than me, I'm waiting on you to show me. If you can do a better job than I did, I swear, I will give you props on my channel. I will promote your platform. But I'm waiting to see how y'all change the game for dark-skinned women. Because I hear my shit everywhere. I hear my shit in the mainstream. I got celebrities hit me up on the back end, thanking me in tears. Thanking me for helping them love their dark skin. So I'm waiting to see y'all have that kind of impact. I'm waiting to see how y'all change the game like that for dark-skinned women. Since you can do it so much better than I did. I'll wait. I'll wait on you to do it. Since you're so much better. And look, life sucks as well. Why don't you prove that you didn't say XYZ 10 years ago by putting your treasure trove of content back up? There's enough content up to prove what I just said. Everything I said in this video, I didn't take that much of it down to where there's no proof that's left up. There's still proof up of everything I said in this video. I know you were quoting them. I know. I was responding to the quote though. And see, I feel like that's another trap. That's another trap, especially coming from those anti-dark skin woman channels. Oh, well, put the content back up and prove yourselves. Oh, so you can go take the content and steal from it and twist it up and misconstrue it. No, not falling for it. You want that old content back up so it can give you new content. Nope, not gonna happen. You're gonna have to create your own content from your own ideas. Be original. Stop trying to steal from my old shit. Yeah, oh, trust and believe. I already know. A lot of them want me to put it back up so they can steal. That's never gonna happen. Professor says, I feel like this all boils down to the fact that they don't want black women to improve themselves. It's very sinister the more you think about it. Yep. Selena says they definitely steal your language and talking points. Yeah, they do. And look, I don't have a problem with that. Like, the more people repeat you, that's a good thing. Like, if you repeat my shit, you know, especially if you're another content creator that's pro dark skinned woman, like, I want you to repeat me, right? But don't be lying on me. That's the problem I have with some of these new girls. Y'all lying on me, and it don't have to be like that. Like, we can all coexist. Like, we can all be on here together. There's enough room for everybody. And it seems like some of these new girls, a lot of y'all, you start channels for the sole purpose of beefing with everybody. I didn't start my channel. Listen. I never came on YouTube to be fighting with other YouTubers. That's not why I came on here. I came on here to get my message out to the masses. That's why I came on here. I focused on my content, not everybody else's content. I didn't come on here to beef with other creators. I came on here because I had a passion for certain topics and I wanted to put a different perspective out there. That's it. But when you, and this is some game for the new content creators too, when you specifically come on to argue and beef with other creators all the time, you risk one of two things: either channel stagnation or burnout. Okay? Your channel is almost always guaranteed to go stagnant or die out completely when you continuously beef with other people. And listen, you're not going to grow your platform as big as I have, which I'm not even the biggest content creator, right? I'm a decent size, but you're not even going to get as big as I am by beefing all the time and trying to pick at other creators and, you know, try to take down the bigger YouTubers. That's not how you're going to grow your channel. So if your mission is to do it better than I did, you're already off on the wrong start. You're already doing it wrong, Bookie. You already doing it wrong. You're not gonna grow. You're not gonna make no money. And for me personally, I don't do YouTube just for the money. I also love making videos. I'm passionate about my message and, getting information out there to black women. You know, but I'm not going to do all the work that goes into making videos and not get paid for it. I don't work for free, and I don't recommend that other black women work for free. So, you know, if you want to get the most out of this YouTube thing, like, you gotta be smart about it. And beefing all the time is not smart. But, you know, something I've learned over the years is that haters, they have a way of kind of dying on their own swords. You know what I'm saying? So the more you hate on me, the more you're going to lose. The more your channel is going to suffer. And that's, you know, I guess that's a good thing for me. And all I really have to do is just sit back and let it happen, you know. But yeah, we'll come back next week. We're going to do some trending topics next week. We'll come back and have, you know, just a regular laid back Chrissy After Dark where we're not talking about mess. But I just wanted to get that out. I'm not your enemy to the new dark skinned BWE content creator. I'm not your enemy. You know, we can get along. I wouldn't, if you didn't throw me under the bus, I would actually promote you. I mean, I've promoted other girls, but, you know, I'm not going to promote people who throw me under the bus. That's not going to happen. So, you know, you're already starting out on the wrong foot. But there's enough room for everybody. Just because you're new, you want to do it different. You know, I think it's great that you want to improve the online atmosphere. I think it's great that, you know, you want to maybe correct some of our mistakes. Like, I don't think anything's wrong with that, because again, like I said earlier, we aren't perfect. There's a lot of mistakes that we made. Excuse me, but some of the basic stuff that y'all are arguing against, that's kind of it's not gonna work, y'all. It's not gonna work. And y'all trying to be nice and sweet to colorists, baby, that's not gonna stop them from being colorists. I'm trying to tell you, that's not going to work. Okay, I didn't help as many dark skinned women and girls that I did from being nice to colorists, from being scared of them, from walking on eggshells with them. That's not how I helped so many dark skinned women and girls. So you're gonna have to pick a side. Either you want to help dark skinned women and girls, or you want to look good to colorists. Like, it can't be both. It can't be both. So that's my advice. And to my cyber stalkers, I'm still on your ass. I'm still watching you very closely. So, you know, you might just want to let this get taken care of legally and leave me the fuck alone. Because nobody's scared of you. And just like you said, you have some information on me, I have all the information on you as well. And I hope y'all, I mean, you know, since you writing books on me, I hope you make some good money. I hope you at least make some good money so you can pay all your legal fees. Good luck. But just know that you're weird and you're an obsessive, crazy stalker. And you're not, it's not normal. What your behavior that you're exhibiting on social media is not normal. Your obsession with me is not normal, and you need to get some help. Pretty says they're out here begging for inclusion. And begging for inclusion for women who can't even get them anywhere. That's the thing about it. Like, when has the privilege that some of these women have ever trickled down to dark skinned black women? When have they ever been able to level up dark skinned black women? So it's like coming on here to kowtow to colorists and, you know, try to get in their little clique and their little group. That's not going to benefit you as a dark skinned woman. When has it ever? If that worked, then my platform would be unnecessary. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll talk about music in the next Chrissy After Dark. I don't have a busy schedule next week, so I should be able to um come on and do another live definitely next week. Um I want to go live for members and patrons, for Neptunian members and patrons, and also do a public live. And then I have a couple of pre-recorded videos I want to make. So, and I'm being real ambitious right now, girl. Hopefully I can get out all that content. I know I can definitely go live, but as far as the pre-recorded videos, I don't know. Y'all might get one. I know y'all gonna get one for sure. I don't know. Two might be pushing it, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Girl, is who whining about trans? Are you talking about me whining about trans women again? Anytime I say anything about trans women, it's because they done said something about biological women. They are way more obsessed with us than the reverse. Let's be real about that. And see, that's another group that don't want to be criticized. Nobody wants to be. Anytime it's somebody else's turn to be criticized outside of black women, y'all want to start crying. Anytime I criticize black women, nothing is said. Like, for the most part, everybody's okay with it. Dark-skinned black women in particular. The minute I say anything about trans women, black men, light-skinned women, all hell breaks loose. Y'all don't want anybody else to be criticized. You want nobody else to be criticized. It's crazy. Thank you, Jewel, for the donation. But y'all gonna have to get over it. Everybody gets the smoke on this channel. Everybody. And when it's your turn, it's your turn. Get over it. Shane says, one is good. Let's not get our hopes up, though. You were killing it 2 weeks or so ago. I know, I was. I was like back to back with it. I was doing so good. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. But look, you got a live tonight. You're definitely going to get, live stream next week. It's okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take my time. I have no choice, girl. I'll be having other shit to do. Last says, every group can be critiqued. Exactly. If you expect me to come on here and only critique black women, I don't know. Like, I'm just not that kind of channel. If somebody does something wrong, it doesn't matter what group they belong to. I'm going to criticize them. I'm going to call it out. Selena says, are these people new? Or I don't know. I think some people are new. Some people just think they can, I guess, intimidate me. I don't really know what they think. Like, but I don't know what they don't realize. I'm not the one. I can't be bullied off. I can't be intimidated off of here. You can't try to dox me and bully me off. It's not going to happen. You can't insult me and bully me off. I'm not going anywhere. It's been 10 years. I'm not leaving. You can do as many videos as you want on me. I'm not going. I mean, it's just not working. So I don't know how long they're going to keep trying, but it's not going to work. So yeah, Mariah says, Chrissy's a tough cookie. Y'all are not her. Period. But that's all I have to say, y'all. I'm going to get off here. Stay tuned for content coming up next week. Make sure you check out my review on One Battle After Another. It's available for Neptunian members and patrons. The links to join are in the description box. And thank you for listening. I'll see you guys next week. Love you. Bye.